You haven't heard my voice in a while.
Yeah, dude. Welcome out to channel14.com's Bodega Nights. I'm Joao.
This is Norm.
And this is the Ironic Gamer. Hey, guys.
That was really weird, right? Because I was pointing towards your picture on the Hangout thing.
The screen.
When I said, right after that. I'm Joao, and then I pointed at Norm's picture. Which is kind of weird to think about.
He's a very small picture,
now. The hierarchy is like...
I didn't understand a word you guys said. So, yeah, we are live. Hey, it's Martin. Martin is in the chat. Sup, dude?
That one guy in the audience who always shows up.
He's on the show sometimes. So how have you guys been, dude? It's been a while since I've spoken to, well, at least Miko.
Been really busy with Star Wars stuff generally, actually. Got lots of nice events, and yeah, honestly, it eats up a lot of my time, but hey, it's a great hobby, great community, lots of fun stuff, and came from Singapore. First time I've enjoyed my trip to Singapore, honestly. Lots of stories there.
Stuff at, you're part of the 501st.
Yep.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Oh, it's been great. Now I got promoted. I'm currently an officer in our Garrison, so I'm the GML, or otherwise known as the Garrison Membership Liaison. Essentially, the first time first time it was thrown to me was, you'll be the guy checking and approving uniforms and costumes. Like, hey, that's not so bad. When I get the job, take the things, and here's the survival guide. What?
Survival guide?
Yeah, I was like, I heard survival guide. Okay. It is a thick reading. I think it's over 50 or so pages. Essentially, these are the jobs. Now, primarily, you handle membership application approvals. However, you also handle this, and this. Like, huh. I feel like my job was a little understated. But I enjoy it because there's actual structure, procedures, so it's kind of my thing, so it's enjoyable. Though I made it clear that, hey, Bok's online. Hey, Bok. Hey, stream. I am specifically assigned to the Visayas Mindanao area, so that's nice. And we finally
So you're
one.
like the head audition guy for the Visayas Mindanao area?
I wouldn't really call it auditions. My job is to verify if your kits... I'm not a recruiter either. That's a different person. My job is just to actually make sure the things you are submitting are actually up to par. So I'm the guy who
had to check if they were able to, identify droids that they're looking for.
Oh, no. It's essentially, when they make a costume, I have to make sure it's actually movie accurate to the exact movie or character you are doing.
Ooh.
Because people don't realize that stormtroopers are actually different for every single movie.
I thought they were supposed to be the same. They're clones.
How different is different?
Like the stormtroopers in episode 4, 5, and 6, they're all different from each other. Stormtroopers in episode 4, those are the ones actually most will see. If you see any material, almost always that's going to be based off the original stormtrooper from episode 4. Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back, it actually was different. The helmet frowns, the colorations were different. The armor on the hands were different. The belt system was different. Then when you go to ROTJ, or Return of the Jedi, everything changed. The helmet was different. The armor was different. Nothing was the same. Not even the blaster was the same. It's just Jenny Ford.
So, how much does it cost to get into the 501st?
It depends on what costumes. There are pricey costumes. Like if you go to anovos.com, they have stormtrooper kits that Jenny go for about $350 for the standard kit, I think. That's the raw, where you have to assemble it all. I think they also sell the Premier line of 1.5. Of course, you can go simple as the bridge crew, which for a lot of people, that is less than $200 to assemble the screen-accurate costume. It really just depends on your skill.
Does having a costume automatically make you eligible for 501st?
You have to be over 18 years old and own one screen-accurate costume that complies with our CRL.
CRL?
Costume Reference Library.
Wow.
We have we have a lot of costumes. The clones alone, Clone Troopers have over 110 variants right now.
Do you have any Twi'leks?
Twi'leks are generally under the Rebel Legion. We have a few dark side Twi'leks, but it's pretty rare. I think it was Darth I forgot the name. It was a Sith Twi'lek. It was in the Legends series. We have one of those, but Jenny, most Twi'leks are with the Rebel Legion.
So wait, you have the 501st, which are you guys, and
Yeah.
then you have the other side,
Then we
which
have
is
the Rebel Legion. Then we have the Mandalorian Mercs, which is everything Mandalorian. Then we have TDE, or the Dark Empire, which is everything else that doesn't fit into everything else.
Are
That
these like
sounded,
all
vaguely
separate?
dirty.
These are all separate factions, or are these all separate organizations?
these are
Because
all
I only
separate-
know of the 501st.
These are all separate groups. We're all under LFL. The 501st is the most well-known, followed by the Rebel Legion, followed by the Mandalorian Mercs, then followed by the Dark Empire. The Dark Empire is probably the least known because it's the newest one. They just became really big around 2010.
Wait, so what's the LFL again?
LFL, Lucasfilm Limited. Essentially, they're the guys who give us permissions to use Star Wars imagery, icons, and things for our purposes.
Oh, okay.
So we are allowed by
See, it
both
used to
Lucas and
be-
Disney to actually use Star Wars imagery for our things.
See, it used to be you dress up as a character, the creators take it as a flattery. Now you have to ask for their permission.
Well, I mean, you
Let's,
don't have to ask for their permission, especially with cosplay. I mean, it only becomes permission basis when you do things, beyond, hey, I'm a fan dressing up, to I'm a fan going to an event representing this entire brand idea or IP. There's a difference. I mean, if you go to an event, no one will stop you. I mean, not even Nintendo will hound on you for wearing a Mario costume in an event.
And we know how Nintendo can be.
Yep. I mean, as long as you don't do things for profit, Jenny, they don't care. And for us, I mean, pretty much everything we do is charity based.
Oh, yeah, that's like your thing, huh?
Yep. Actually, last year we broke our record for charities. We are able to raise 150,000 pesos for charity. That's just within the Philippine Garrison. And right now we've already hit that. We've already gone past that amount in the last few months.
How do you choose which charities to work with for these events?
There is actually a list of charities that the 501st Jenny goes to, the most common one being Make-A-Wish Foundation. Then from there, of course, we can check out the local charities and see who we assist. Like in Manila, lots of them go with PGH, as well as the Kite Foundation, a few other groups. In Cebu, we also touch on Kite. We also touch on the local hospitals like Velez. And we try to see what other groups that we can essentially help out. Like the last group we actually helped out was a public school to actually help them put in proper toilets for their, toilets.
How do people get in touch with you guys for charity events?
Oh, you can actually check us out in the Pinoy 501st website, or you can also reach us in Facebook. Also, it says Pinoy 501st. Or if you actually go to the main 501st website, you will be directed to our area.
Huh.
Yep, it's a great thing. I
Yeah,
mean,
It's actually really, really great.
it's amazing. I mean, it's the first time I actually was really with a big group, and it really feels like a family in the sense that, like when I went to Singapore, I met up with lots of the Singapore Garrison. Now, I've met some of them before in Manila, but there's a lot of them I've never met before, and you immediately click really quickly because you're part of this large group. Everyone has the same base that we're big fans of Star Wars. We have set things we can really talk about, and you get close to everyone really fast. I mean, that's why I enjoyed Singapore. Suddenly, I was going around Singapore, actually meeting locals and doing what locals did. It's quite nice. Very different. Also, I got to taste food I never thought existed. Like milk
Like
powder
what?
on chicken.
What?
Milk powder
When I
on
was in
chicken.
Singapore, I never tasted. Where was that in Singapore?
That one specifically was in Little India. It was like a spicy fried chicken covered in Nido powder. It wasn't Horlicks. It was really imagine Nido powder, and you're just dropping that thing like a snowstorm in Canada. It's just completely covered with. I didn't know what the meat was. Like, what is that? Oh, just grab it and eat it. Okay.
Oh, it's the heart of a child.
It was amazing. It was. Actually, I mean, I did have cow lungs. They didn't tell me what it was either. Like, oh yeah, just eat that thing. Oh, this is good. What is it? Oh, cow lungs. Huh. Quite nice. Very freaky.
Lungs. Okay, sorry.
What did you
Sorry,
hear?
I heard like
Cow what?
um,
What else rhymes with ungs?
I'm assuming tongues because that's not true. It's like lingua.
I invoke Section 17, Article 3 of the 1987 Constitution.
But yeah, it's great, and I even there was actually able to join a trooping. They were doing an event for the John Williams and Hans Zimmer concert, so I actually was there as an assistant.
Wait, so like John Williams and Hans Zimmer were in Singapore?
Their music was played. Apparently, they were there. John Williams, I think, showed up. I think last year or a year before that. But this time it was just one of the popular conductors who did their music. It was amazing hearing all those classical pieces actually played live by a full orchestra.
Yeah.
And also, I learned that
like,
they had a lot of songs. I did not realize that John Williams also did Jurassic Park.
Man, John Williams did everything, dude.
I didn't know he did Jurassic Park. Like, he did Jurassic Park? Yeah. Huh. That's so cool.
What else? What else is part of that guy's filmography? Like freaking Harry Potter.
Yeah, and also
Superman.
Indiana Jones was also part of it, I think.
Yeah, Indiana Jones.
His Superman, of course.
Yeah, Superman. Right? In my opinion, his single greatest work, Schindler's List.
Yeah.
That is such a good score. And if Bach is still there, we go. Bach was going to. Bach just mentions John Williams did most, if not all, of Spielberg's films. Yes.
Shout out to the people watching or listening to the live podcast.
Yep. Technically, it's more than one, so we can use the term people.
Yeah. You guys. Check out the website, channel14.com. The podcast is Bodega Nights. It comes out every now and then. Check out Radio Norm and Third World Linux.
Yep.
But why
Jobber Talk for wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Sup, Buck?
Sup, Bob?
He's just flooding the chat. Cool.
It was amazing. Oh yeah, they did actually play Schindler's List. It was a long piece. I think it was 8 or 10 minutes long.
Yeah, man, but,
it was an amazingly depressing piece.
Yes.
It was also our cue to get ready for our appearance. It's like, your cue is going to be the most depressing song we have on the list. So, get ready for that. Like, oh, okay. That's interesting. But yeah, that's we of course popped out when Star Wars was being done. The Star Wars music was nice. They did Leia's theme, and it was amazing to hear Leia's theme live.
Yeah.
Live?
Yeah.
Like with an orchestra?
Yeah, it was a full orchestra. It was amazing.
Yeah, dude.
Huh?
Also, I learned that
Must have
Superman,
been
even full orchestra, is not very energetic. It's very mellow. Gosh, it was amazing. And being backstage was... it was an interesting thing. I got to see lots of the musicians, and I found out pretty much they had rooms for days. Seriously, they had rooms for every single section of the orchestra. No one actually mixed space. No one mixed instruments. It'd be rooms per instrument. Except for the harp. I don't know where they threw him, because there's 2 guys there.
It's really amazing how much the movies influence culture and society these days.
Oh yeah,
right?
It's such a great motherhood statement right there.
It does though.
I was just going. Wait, sorry. I just have to mention because you guys brought up John Williams. Our buddy, this guy named Ian, I think it's Ian, has this theory that most, if not all, of John Williams' scores can be used as the score for some sort of pornographic video. So I will.
Man, that's a different kind of Harry Potter.
Yeah, we talked about that way back when you mentioned the John Williams theory as a backdrop for porno.
I want to see the Jurassic Park version.
Right, you can imagine say the Star Wars theme, right? It's very rhythmic, very brass heavy, very powerful, and you can sort of just imagine every pelvic thrust with each down.
I'd rather not imagine.
Now, I actually listened to almost every single Star Wars song. I can see how that applies to some of it. So other parts, I don't want to see the rhythm of this. Though I'd love to see the cantina band.
Cantina piece, exactly. But
that's some Jackrabbit stuff right there.
Didn't we
the thing
also
I think
talk
that
about
works the best is the Duel of the Fates.
Yeah, that was what I was going to get to. Then we also talk about Duel of the Fates theme. It's not John Williams, but
Yeah, it's still Star Wars, but But yeah, that's an amazing event, and I mean, also go about some events. Some events we plan ourselves. Like we get contacted to assist with some events, and what we tell them is, you don't have to pay us. We just ask you donate to a charity or a hospital. We have bank accounts that you can deposit here, and you just put it's from us. Then we just take it to accounting. Or sometimes right now for May the 4th. Obviously, that's big Star Wars Day, so Manila has a major event, and in Cebu, we have a big event coming up as well.
Wait, for Star Wars Day?
Yeah, May the 4th. Manila has a 2-day event, if I remember correctly, and we have a 1-day event.
May the 4th be with you.
What do we have here for Star Wars Day?
Oh, we have a slight teaser. I mean, one thing Cebu has that no other area in the world has yet, except probably Hollywood, because they have it there, is the TX-225 hover tank.
What is that?
My eyes just glazed over. I'm sorry.
It is the tank from
What is a TX?
It's the tank from Rogue One. It essentially is so used in the trailers, you'd think it'd have a bigger spot in the movie, where in the movie I think it just showed up for it showed up longer than Phasma did, but it showed up for about 5 minutes in the film.
Was it the tank, the thing that blew up?
Yeah, that one. We showed it off first in Sinulog. We built that entire tank in 24 days.
Does it actually hover?
No. That's a funny story. It was originally called a hover tank. Then I think the last 2 months, Disney went, you know what? It's not a hover tank anymore. It now has treads. Now, there is a rumor going around that the reason that happened was someone forgot to digitally remove the tracks from the trailer. And instead of fixing it, they figured, no, it just doesn't hover. There is a hover version, but that's the non-hover version.
And that could conceivably make sense, like in universe, if you decide to, V1, V2, Vanguard 1.
Though the funny thing was, they did fix one thing on the trailer that they just kept quiet about. Like everyone saying, wow, that's crazy. Darth Vader in the first trailer that he popped out in, his chest was so flat that you could see the helmet's neck seal actually go past his chest. It was a good 1 inch of clearance between the end of the helmet and his chest piece. So they had to digitally alter that to give the guy a bigger chest. The problem being that even though they got a guy tall as David Prowse actually works out, and he was actually a very fit, buff guy. The guy they got, not so much so. So you end up with a very lanky Vader with an oversized helmet. So they had to digitally draw a bigger chest in the trailer and in the succeeding movie. But of course, for other things, said, no, just forget. We're not going to remove the tracks. That thing doesn't hover anymore. Even though it's very obvious that as you're watching it, this is supposed to be hovering. Oh gosh, it was insane. I mean, Rogue One is a great movie. Though because of how they recut it, some scenes in the trailer never ever showed up. You know how trailers they have that one scene that doesn't show up in the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, for Rogue One, I think 70% of what you saw in the trailer doesn't show up in the movie.
I'm
actually really glad with some of the stuff that they pulled out,
I Rebel.
Yeah, dude,
that was an awful line.
Really?
I heard oh my god,
who does that?
I Rebel.
There was apparently a massive group of people, or at least they say a massive group of people who said, "Oh, we love it. It's great." And then everyone says no. It was the snarkiest, most uptight thing ever. I Rebel.
That's
nice.
Dude, that's like George Lucas levels of dialogue writing right there.
Oh yeah, it was. Do you think they showed it to George first and said, "I love it. Okay, guys, we have to change this."
Yeah.
George, if you're somehow listening, I still love you.
So, Mr. Lucas, what dialogue?
On a scale of 1 to George Lucas, how much does this writing suck?
I like that image though. It's they give the script to George Lucas and everything, every little bit of dialogue that he likes, we're cutting that out. We're
change it now.
Okay, we have to review this section. But he
loves this part.
There's one scene that everyone wanted to see in the movie, which was Jin walking out to the control panel, which for some reason was beyond. Yeah, the TIE fighter goes up. That scene was not in the movie at all.
No, it wasn't.
Like, I was half expecting, okay, two things are gonna happen. Either the TIE fighter gets shot down by a passing X-Wing, which, hey, that's gonna be really cool. Or Jin is gonna pull a, like, Chirrut Imwe and just, like, take out her handgun and shoot the TIE fighter pilot in the face. Like, I would have accepted either, but what happens is, oh, here it comes. Okay, nothing happened, just cut to the next scene. And that was a major part of the trailer.
Yeah, it was.
And they still used it in the future trailers where they said, oh yeah, we recut the movie, made it different, except the trailer. You know, these are the awesome things you're not going to see.
But then, like, the way that like trailers and movies work is the trailer is cut by a separate like production house. So what happens is you have your sort of major production studio, right? So in this case, it would be Lucasfilm. And, you know, they have a whole bunch of footage that they get from their principal photography. And then they send it over to this editing house and say, all right, here it is. This is our basic treatment, and come up with a trailer. They come up with a trailer, and that's what's put out. So, like, as much as we feel kind of anal about trailers, it's I would think it's too small a piece of the pie, or too small like an element for the actual movie studio to really put much thought into. Like,
except for the time people start complaining about, you know, Darth Vader's chest. They said,
nope, we
gotta fix that one.
What?
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's like it's sort of like how Amazon doesn't really care about their customer support, like their first level customer support, because it's all outsourced to Cebu anyway. You know?
Oh, here's the funny thing. That section I told you about the Darth Vader chest being small, that scene is on the trailer for less than 1 or 2 seconds. We nitpicked that thing so much that's how we spotted it. Like, if you just watch the trailer normally, you'll have never noticed it. We are essentially pausing every single frame to try to figure out what different costumes there were, how to build everything, and we spotted, hey, Darth Vader got no gains. Oh, gosh, it was.
He doesn't do push-ups.
He wasn't worshipping Broden. He isn't a follower of the Church of Swole.
Oh, but there's one scene in Rogue One that made absolutely no sense. They just like completely ignored it. Like, no one made mention of it. No, not one single character. When Jin and Cassian were quote-unquote caught by K2SO, like they were passing by this attacked area, and that's where we first see Chirrut Imwe pop up.
Yeah.
Now, everyone when they watch it, they think, oh yeah, the fire there, that's the tank. No, if you watch the scene, there is a crashed X-Wing in the back. And that X-Wing is freshly destroyed, and there's no scene at all where X-Wings popped up, and that could have crashed. So immediately you're like, so no one's going to like accept that the X-Wing just crashed out of nowhere. It's like everyone's like, no, there's nothing there. Just keep walking.
So ignore the X-Wing.
I'm assuming that must have been a cut scene where the X-Wing was probably doing a strafing run. I guess they felt, the rebels doing a strafing run on a highly residential area might not be the best scene for a Star Wars film. I mean, that's the only reason why a shot down X-Wing has to be there. So, I mean, there's all those things, but the Rogue One thing was still amazing. Like, it is a great war movie set in the Star Wars universe that makes it actually easy for non-Star Wars fans to kind of get into it. Like, if you watch that, hey, this is pretty cool, and it gets easier to get into A New Hope.
You know, it's kind of controversial of an opinion of mine, but I enjoyed Rogue One more than I enjoyed the other one.
What's the other one? I mean, there's like 7
Force
others.
Awakens?
Yeah, Force Awakens, yeah.
Well, I will have to agree. I mean, I enjoyed Rogue One more than TFA. TFA just felt too much like A and H.
These 501st guys and their freaking acronyms, huh?
The Force Awakens, TFA, and A New Hope, A and H. It takes long to say it all.
Hey, I've been playing around with an idea, and I was just wondering if a tree
falls
put on a
in the
gorilla
forest.
suit, if you put on a gorilla suit, and you go into cosplay. Are you cosplaying as a monkey or a gorilla, or are you cosplaying as King Kong? How do people know?
Honestly, I first think you're cosplaying as the gorilla from SpongeBob.
That just blew that question actually just blew my mind.
Am I King Kong?
How would you cosplay as King Kong and people would know? Or people would just think, it's an escaped gorilla. Trank it.
Who are you? I'm Harambe.
Oh my god.
No, you could be King Kong, Harambe, or you could just be a furry.
Do you get those like a lot
Nobody
of
would really
cons and
think
stuff?
that.
Actually, yeah, we do actually get furries sometimes. At least I've seen furries in the Manila conventions. I've seen only
What?
one ever pop out in a Cebu event.
Just one.
This one.
The lone furry.
Yeah.
That's a lonely like existence, dude.
I think he
Like
was just
the
looking
one
for
furry
friends.
in the city.
It's like, come on, my furry friends, show yourselves, guys.
Nope. Not today.
Hello.
I'm gonna.
Though I mean, one would say it doesn't count as a furry because if I remember right, it was equestrian girl, but it was not the humanoid version, but anamorphic. Am I saying that word right?
Well, what is a furry really?
I guess Zootopia is kind of the line where this is furry. Because, like, I'd like to
Really?
think that girl with cat ears is not furry. It's just, you know,
Oh, wait.
it's just the anime.
What about
I thought,
Fantastic Mr. Fox?
What?
Fantastic Mr. Fox. The Wes Anderson.
Yeah, I mean, I
claymation.
would put that close. Like, if you're into that in, you know, that way, I'd like to put, you're probably a furry. You know,
Okay,
if
so
you're
it's like a sexual orientation thing, though. Let's be clear here.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, I'd like it more to be a fetish or a kink.
Okay.
But, I mean, there are some that go, because when it comes to, like, the sexual thing, you're kind of leaning towards bestiality, I'd like to think.
yeah,
Like, there's
so
a
that's what I was
difference
thinking,
between
though,
like I want to screw a horse to I want to screw you as you're dressed like a horse.
yeah.
There's a
So
very
there's-
clean line there. No one will say like,
Yeah.
yeah, man, go grab your dog. No. It's gonna say put
Always
on the
No,
fascinating
that's
learning about
like-
these subcultures.
That's kind of illegal. But like say, like thinking about it though.
I like how Joao's probably gonna go later check the books. There has to be a law here that states it. It's wrong. It's wrong.
I've read it somewhere here.
There's a case file somewhere. You know, the Philippines against the Goat Man.
Yeah, well, like the law has all of these nice little catch-all provisions that sort of
Because I know in
As long
Manila
as-
they have a brony convention in Manila.
What?
really.
Yeah, they're brony convention in Manila. There's an annual brony convention. I think it's every December.
But then like that really isn't like a that isn't like a gathering place for furries, is it?
Well, I mean, I think they call them cloppers or something. Like, within the furry
So
community,
it's-
apparently there's a subset of, like, furry is just a blanket term for people who like that, but then there's people like, no, they're scalies, they're cloppers, they're all these other things. Scalies are like, oh, I like everything that's reptilian. Cloppers like, oh, I love everything that's horse-related. Then there's the feline, then there's all this urso and all these other ones that become specific to I'm into this type of thing or this type of thing. It's like when you
Learning
say
so much in this podcast.
it's like when you say cosplay, where cosplay is a blanket term, but it covers up like people who do anime, Western stuff, comics, video games, just certain fashion things like J-pop, K-pop. Furry apparently was like that, where it just covers a variety of different kinks.
If you're wearing cosplay and it's November 1, are you cosplaying or are you just celebrating Halloween? I mean, it's been bugging me for a while now.
Well, in fairness, I don't think anyone celebrates Halloween. We dress up because it's Halloween, but I don't think anyone actually celebrates, you know, the feast of Halloween.
And that's beside the point. The question is that's a really good question though. Like, like if somebody were to hold a cosplay event on like All Hallows Eve or whatever, All Hallows the cosplay event, would that be like a cosplay event, or would that be like Halloween
Trick or
and like
treating.
yeah, would that be trick or treating? Like if as part of this event, like they give away candy.
If you have a bag, you are trick or treating. If you accept candy, it changes.
If you accept payment in the form of sugary snacks, you are trick or treating.
I think that's like the line they say between cosplay and mascots.
Mascots take candy.
No, maybe mascots, you getting something out of it. I mean, you're not exactly getting candy, but you're getting like some sort of payment for it.
So does that mean that guys like so does that mean that 501st
We are
leans
not
more
mascots.
towards mascots?
No, we are not mascots. We are not cosplayers. We are not mascots. We are the 501st.
Ah, he's
It's a kind of a line though. We're
We
not cosplayers. We're not mascots. It's generally because the term mascot has some negative connotation to it in terms of what we do. Like, we are not professional mascots. We are not paid. These are things we do for a hobby. The same thing in the cosplay scene. We don't immediately identify cosplay, at least in general, simply because like in the Philippines, cosplay has some negative connotations to it, and we don't want to be associated with that. We have certain set standards, we have a number of set rules. Genuine cosplay, I mean, you can cosplay a Stormtrooper. You have your own setup. Ours, we bring it to a whole different level. We would fall under the cosplay blanket, but we don't immediately want to identify as a cosplayer, at least in the local sense or some more popular sense where people see cosplayers as... I mean, we have to be honest, like when you talk about cosplayers, the immediate thing people think about is the anime. And
yeah,
we don't want to be attached to that scene. Like, no, we're not that. Like, we go into events that... this is what I tell people. Like, I go to an event, or we go to an event, and we're not there to let people see, hey, check out these guys in costume. We're there to see, guys, did you see the Stormtroopers? That was amazing. We want to create the experience. We want to make it feel like an actual thing. That's why always we have to stay in character pretty much the entire event. So when people talk to us, interact with us, it's an interaction with a part of Star Wars, not someone in a suit.
So it's a lot like a Disney princess in Disneyland.
I guess you could say that. Like, we have to bring that thing there. We have to bring that experience to them. I mean, it's an amazing thing to see professional men and women act like kids again. It's an amazing thing even for the kids, because especially for the kids, all they see is real Stormtroopers, real Sith Lords, real of those things, and for them it's just amazing. And to bring that same feeling to the adults, I mean, that's also an amazing thing. You suddenly just let them forget all the stress, all these other things they had to deal with in life, and just experience Star Wars in the flesh. And we want to do that. We want people to remember back saying, man, that was an amazing thing. It was an authentic Star Wars experience versus, man, those guys in costume were great. We don't want to be that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Fair enough. It's a good concern.
Norm, so how is that latest episode of Radio Norm coming along? I remember you like mentioning it in the chat. You're like, this is going to be really good. This is my magnum opus.
Nah, I didn't say that. I saw it the following day and I was like, this is crap. In the middle of writing it, I was like, this is genius. Looked at it the following day and I was like, what was I thinking?
Well, I mean, that's what happens when sober Norm looks at what drunk Norm did.
It was the Ernest Hemingway of writing styles.
Yeah, I was about to ask who said that. It was write drunk, edit sober? That was Hemingway, right?
No. They always attribute it to Hemingway, but apparently it's not him.
There's someone drunker than Hemingway?
Apparently so.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he was a guy in Absinthe too, right?
Wasn't that... Oh, wait, no. Sorry. Go on.
Horse and Moonshine. All of those things. Those cheap, very powerful liquors that make you go blind at some point. Not talking from experience. Absinthe, in the most general of terms, people will hate me for this. It's just European moonshine.
So it's like alcohol
Green
that'll
moonshine.
kill you.
Pretty much. I mean, like, the reason why it's flavored and has all these things, because that stuff is nasty. Like, people think, oh, they drank it for visions. They drank it for the hit. No, they drank it because these were cheap-ass people. They could not afford wine, so they said, what can I get for this shiny penny, sir? You can get this bottle of green. What is it? It won't make you blind, sir.
But it will make you see things. Wait, the hallucinogenic properties of absinthe.
Highly alcoholic.
It's not just that. It's not just... That's also a thing that people think. Absinthe will give you hallucinations. That's not true. It's only a specific kind of absinthe with wormwood. Lots of other absinthe does not give you that.
Slightly. Gotta find the one with the wormwood then.
Which you can get, I think, in Italy and France.
The next Radio Norm's gonna be trippy.
But I mean, I tried absinthe last time I was in Madrid. It tasted like you're going to die.
It's 150 proof alcohol. Of course you're gonna die, and you take it straight up, right?
Pretty much. I mean, I can't think of any way to really make it drinkable. It's like I've seen absinthe cocktails, but it's considered a cocktail. Like, you see, there is a quarter of a jigger of absinthe in this, and like everything else is like normal alcohol.
You just take it like a man, drink it.
Like a very, very poor man who can't afford any better.
Yes. Nothing smoother for this person.
Like, you can get absinthe in the Philippines, but I think the one we have here is like the crappy absinthe no one likes.
Alright. Wait, it was on Bodega Nights last week that I was talking about percentage and proof, right? Yeah, so you take you take the proof, you divide it by 2, and that is the percentage. So,
all right.
So like gin is I know that Gilby is like 70 proof, so that is 35% alcohol.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's it. So Bacardi 151 is 150 proof, which means it is 70 something percent alcohol, which is kind of crazy.
Huh.
Right? Bacardi
Hold on,
151
I guess
is
you gotta
150 proof.
check
Anyway.
something out. I'll be right back.
All right. While we wait.
Ooh, what did I walk into?
You walked into sexy time.
Oh, I was hoping to hear John Williams.
Wait, what happened to Miko?
What did happen to Miko?
Oh. Good luck editing this, Joao.
It's gonna be great.
Have the musical interlude like in the middle somewhere.
Hey, Miko. Nope, that was not Miko.
Yeah.
So how you been?
I've
You get
been,
like 9 minutes.
I've been pretty tired lately, but that's a good thing, right? Like being tired means you're being productive.
Yeah, you've been spending your
Or-
energy.
Yeah. Sort of.
Sort of.
Yeah. There was an earthquake here, like, yesterday. There was an earthquake in Cebu, and it was really
Was it a
weird.
strong one?
Not really. It was like a 4, maybe? On that scale that is no longer the Richter scale, because people don't use the Richter scale anymore, or something. But it was a 4 on whatever scale that was. The scale formerly known as Richter. And
Okay.
it was really weird because it happened at like 3 in the morning or something. So like I literally woke up a few seconds before the earthquake started. So I just like woke up and I was like, I'm awake at 4 in the morning. And like all of a sudden I hear like this rumbling in the distance, and all of a sudden the house starts to shake. And it was at that point.
Okay, I'm back. Weird things happened.
Yeah, we were talking about the earthquake that happened yesterday. So at that point, like it was one of those. I sort of resigned myself to death at that point. I'm like, oh, another earthquake.
Yeesh.
Like yeah, I suppose I'm going to be at peace with myself when this all just collapses in on me. But then like we don't have any like concrete above like the ceiling. So it's all good. Not
Nothing's
gonna
going
die.
to crush you.
Yeah, nothing is going to crush me. But this house is pretty high up, so there. And
Maybe not a good thing.
and then after a couple of seconds, and I didn't die, which is always a good thing.
Yep.
It happened again.
Another earthquake.
And apparently, yeah, and it was and it sort of like rocked me to sleep. You know how like when you're on an airplane.
Yeah, I
Like
know the
that-
nice turbulence.
Yeah, that nice turbulence, it puts you to sleep. So like that second
Puts you to
earthquake
sleep
put me to
forever
sleep.
sometimes.
And apparently there were like 6 or 7 more that happened after that. And it's like, oh, must have given me a really good sleep.
The only reason I knew about the earthquakes was I got a text message from my friend Manila saying, "Hey, are you alright? I heard about the earthquakes." And my message back, "Really? How were they?" I was asleep for the entirety of the thing. I think that night I had drank about half a bottle of red wine and some whiskey, and I just kind of passed out until the morning.
Red wine triggered.
Shout out for the last episode. Hope you listen to it.
Yeah, I listen to our content. You see Norm, Radio Norm is a fantastic thing to listen to. Makes you feel that your life is far better than someone else's.
Not mine.
Burn.
But yeah, also listen to Third World Linux and Jobber Talk.
Yeah. I'll listen to the Jobber
By
Talk.
the way, we have a By the way, I was looking at our download numbers and stuff, and apparently we have a couple of new listeners to Bodega Nights. So just like, shout out.
Shout out to you guys. I don't know how you found us.
We do have a Patreon.
Well, no, I was just gonna say, like, share it with your friends and stuff if you're actually listening to anything more than that last episode, and like decided to stop listening after hearing that. After hearing the stories about what counts as fun.
Here in third world.
Well, yeah, sure. I wish I had more like drunk stories like that. But like overall, the people that I hang out with the exception of this current group of people that I hang out with. What?
Which cannot be named in any way whatsoever.
I do not want to throw Mike under the bus. No, it's not Mike. What's it? Like, all of the people that we tend to hang out with are pretty boring drunks, right? Like, whenever...
We tend to hang out with?
Yeah, like, I don't know.
Generally.
Right? Like
generally, yeah.
Right? Because, like when we hang out and we're drinking and we get, like, absolutely plastered, we're still civil, We still take the time
Have we ever, actually?
Right? Like, we don't... we excuse ourselves when we throw up, and as much as possible, we like to keep our throwing up outdoors.
Yeah.
And when we come back, we're gracious to the host, and we get into like conversations about philosophy and whatnot, question the meaning of life and all of that. Like my friends in high school, or my high school friends, we're all pretty boring drunks as well. Like, we pretty much, like, whenever we're drinking, we just reminisce about high school. And when we reminisce about high school, we don't have any other, like, crazy stories except for that one time that a dude got kicked in the nuts.
No, there was this one time, but it was an ad agency. They had an account. They won an account, and everybody was drinking to celebrate. And I was there, but the funny part was all the girls were drinking so much more, and they got to a point where there was so much puke just everywhere. And
I'm presuming that this was like indoors.
Yes. Just
at the agency,
every single bathroom was backed up. It was just nasty.
Well, that's no fun.
Yeah. Too much drinking is not that fun. Always drink moderately, ladies and gentlemen.
Whatever that means.
Yes. Well, that means you just, know when to stop. Guys, know your limits.
But there's that, like, I think it's the US, right? Where you have drink responsibly, I think?
Yes.
Like, either drink responsibly or drink moderately. Like, they are essentially meaningless terms. But
what does that mean?
Nothing, really.
Also, Joao, I'm so sorry that this is going to be really hard to edit my side. My Audacity is being horrible.
Was it?
Seriously, like, every time it crashes, I drop from your conversation. Like, I'm still there. I hear you, but for some reason you can't hear me. I'm currently on part 4 of recording.
This is going to be amazing.
Yep, this is coming out next week.
In fairness, like, part 2 and 3 are kind of... You can ignore it. Like, part 1's important, part 4's important... Part 2 and 3, not really important because I'm apparently just having my own little talk show with myself and you can't hear me.
Which is fine because you're already like 3/4 of the podcast, so.
Oh, no, I'm more of 1/3.
I say we take like Miko's little monologue and put it to like jazzy background music and put it out as a radio note.
I don't think it's long enough to be a radio norm. It's really just me like, I'm listening to these guys. I want to give my opinions.
No, let's put it as a radio norm. Opinions. The least, the most mundane things ever. What happens when he gets cut out?
Apparently, I talked about that time that John almost kicked AG in the nuts because he always did something stupid when drinking.
What?
Remember that time? It's like we all drinking, then someone's outside that looked like, Sadako. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then... Like, AG looked like he's about to do a stupid, so John said, okay, I'm gonna have to kick him in the nuts. Yeah, good times.
Were they?
I mean, I enjoyed those times. I mean, they were pretty exciting. It was a very great thing, besides,
Can't tell.
reading my stuff. and studying.
Can't tell if I needed more alcohol.
Which I so did in college, guys. I mean, I did my readings and my studying. I was the good student, yes.
I did not just sleep through college. Nope. That was not
and play video games. Stay in school, kids.
Did not almost, get thrown out of school for playing video games.
And selling cancer.
I totally didn't violate special penal law with friends.
He said penal.
Studying law.
Oh, gosh. College was fun. I mean, it's a great time. Be a self-discovery, learning about yourselves, realizing slowly that you wonder why you got here and what's the point of life. Then theater happened. It was great. I miss the simpler times when you had schedules, organization, a reason to do things.
No taxes.
Now, when that's all done, you realize, I have to do my things. I have to set my own schedules.
I have to wash my own clothes.
Oh dear God, adulting is hard. I have to find reason within myself to do the things I need to do. Actually, do my own groceries. I enjoy that. I mean, I get to finally get what I want because I'm an adult I can have candy for breakfast.
I can finally eat Cocoa Crunch.
It's okay.
Trick or treat.
And Cookie Crisps. I can have it for dinner and no one can say anything.
For breakfast.
That's what being adult's about. Hey, in fairness, it is milk. It is frozen milk.
Except
there's nothing wrong with that. And if you want to make healthy, just add some fruits, add some cornflakes, some leche flan, some ube,
some
crushed ice.
Dude, it's
Hey, a halo, if you think about it, is a perfect breakfast meal. I mean, you have your cereal, you have your milk, you have your fruits. It's all there. I mean, is it really that much worse than,
no.
Frosted Flakes?
It's much worse. It's way.
So you mean it's a perfect breakfast meal? No. It's all organic. It's that gluten-free organic stuff.
It's only gluten-free because it's all artificial.
And there's no bread. But there are, actually, no, but it probably does have gluten because cornflakes probably have gluten. Do they? Wait, is it wheat? Why is it called cornflakes?
Mysteries of life. Readers, if you find out why they call them cornflakes instead of wheat, and I said readers when I should have said listeners, put the answer down in the comments.
Yes, we are, you don't know, I mean, there might be subtitles on, like, YouTube would have the auto subtitle. There's, like, reading,
we don't have that
what are they saying?
So, listeners.
Yeah.
Tweet us or message us however you will if you know the answer to that question.
Oh, just to actually talk about subtitles, I just found myself looking for one of the strangest things, like, 2 weeks ago.
Which are?
You remember
Ruby.
that show Ruby, right?
Mm-hmm.
The one from Rooster Teeth.
Yeah.
Ruby came out recently with the Japanese release.
Okay.
I think that started last year, and they have the Japanese episodes. I think the complete season's already done.
Uh-huh.
This is the first time I ever looked for a American animation in Japanese, but subtitled in English. Because, all honesty, it is more fun to watch with subtitles. Japanese dubbing, but there are something that English subtitles. So I was really wondering, is there a place where I can find a dubbed and subbed American animation, but in a different language? I actually found like the Japanese series. I just watched the entire thing. I still know Japanese well enough to understand majority of it, but I'm just wondering, is there someone who did a subtitling for the Japanese dub of an English thing? Is that a thing?
Maybe you should do it.
Like, I'm just gonna mess with people. Yes, he said this instead. You can't say otherwise.
Yeah, no idea.
There is no other subtitler for this.
What it could mean.
No, I mean, I'd like to honestly think that the easiest thing would be someone would get a transcript of the original English one and just, type it all out. Like, is that what they're really saying? Because there are jokes that are completely lost in translation. What? Which in Japanese, their jokes are puns. They're English puns that just don't make sense in Japanese.
Language barriers.
But honestly, I mean, it's fantastic in Japanese just because, I guess they have actual voice actors. I mean, the Rooster Teeth people, they're fun, they're great people, it's nice to watch them. But I mean, they're not professional level voice actors. And then the Japanese one, they actually have the professional voice actors. Yeah, it's weird that the dubbing is better than the original. It actually sounds like the original is a dubbed version of the dubbed.
Well, that could just be because of the animation style. Like you're kind of, yeah. Like if I see something that's animated in that way, my instant sort of gut reaction is this must be in Japanese. Say like the Last Airbender.
Yeah. Oh no, there is a Last Airbender when I saw it. It felt very Western in style.
Okay.
Though I am waiting for I'm sure after a good year or maybe 2 years, there's gonna be people saying, "Yeah, Ruby's such a fantastic anime. Like, why do you watch the English dubbed version?"
And when is M Night Shyamalan?
I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a group of. Yep. Oh god, I really hope not. Did he make a recent movie or something? Did he have some recent movie out or working on one?
Yeah, and it was supposedly really good.
He does have those good things every now and then. I'm pretty sure Bach might know the good ones, right? He watches those things.
Yeah, well, apparently his most recent movie, I cannot remember what it's called, was really good. I haven't seen it. I don't really care, but it's it's supposedly like a sequel or whatever, or it's supposed to exist in the same universe as Unbreakable, which is my favorite M Night movie of all of the stuff that he did.
Is Unbreakable the one with? Was that the one with? Was it Bruce Willis?
Yeah, Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson.
Where Samuel L. Jackson was Glass Man or something?
Yeah.
That's the worst supervillain ever. I am Glass Man. If you slap me, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
If I trip on my way down the stairs, all my evil plans are thwarted.
Yeah.
I would, clap for you, but I would die. I really did not understand the premise of the film. I mean, I enjoyed it until he found out that his weakness was he can't swim or something like that.
Yeah, water.
Or water.
His weakness
is... water was kryptonite.
I mean, it's sort of like how do you kill Wolverine? You can drown him, right?
You can freeze him in cement. I mean, really, just...
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
No, I mean, I love the fact that Bruce Willis' weakness is, covers 2/3 of the planet.
Yeah, so is Wolverine's. So if you have a problem with Bruce Willis's character,
you have a problem with
Wolverine's character.
No, can you imagine Bruce Willis goes to the tropics, it's just humid everywhere, he just becomes a normal man?
Was his weakness water, or was it that the way to kill him is to get him to drown?
It was water.
No, it was water because he mentioned to something oh yeah, it was raining once and I broke my arm. So you do have a weakness. It is water.
Oh.
Which I didn't understand the logic to it. Water is his weakness just because he needs a weakness.
I mean, he could have watched that movie again.
My weakness is air. It's a horrible weakness. Are you sure you have superpower? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Because one time I went to a vacuum and while I was asphyxiating, I found my power. Was it the light in the end of the tunnel? Yes, that was part of it. I saw visions of the past and my entire life. No, you were dying. That's not a superpower at all. You're lucky to be alive.
No, the doctor said I had brain damage.
That's also part of my superpower.
You know what's good? I'm gonna watch Unbreakable.
The voices, they tell me to do things.
We're gonna watch Unbreakable and we're gonna talk about it on Bodega Nights at some point. Or some
I mean, watch King Kong.
Watch it again just for fun.
I've been trying to get to King Kong for the past 14 minutes.
The original one or the latest one?
Have you guys watched King Kong?
Yar.
The recent one.
I have not. I have watched the excerpts of it, in reviews and things, and just because I was not too keen on it. I watched the original one, didn't really enjoy it. I saw the remix, didn't really enjoy it. I kind of saw this
watch it.
I'm not feeling it just yet.
But
so far, everyone's telling me it's a fantastic
most enjoyable Kong movie I have
with
seen
very
so
forgettable
far.
Characters.
It takes Jack Black's movie,
Aren't there 3?
Takes it up and throws it in the air. Yeah.
Did he make Kong? Oh yeah, that one.
The new one is the most enjoyable Kong movie I've ever seen.
I mean, I'm sorry. That's saying the Man of Steel was one of the best Superman. I mean, he didn't really have a high bar to go with.
But
Richard Pryor. Sorry.
Even his was kind of okay. I mean there was no other one. I mean, it's
early Superman
it's
really
this
good,
Wonder One is going to be one of the best ones. Because there's only one other movie.
And
it's just a good.
If you're worse than that one, it's not gonna work for you.
So
do you think they're actually gonna have him fight Godzilla? Because by the looks of it, he's kind of
not in this movie.
That's the thing about King Kong, right? King Kong, if you look at the progression of like King Kong and how big he is, well, he's just been getting bigger and bigger with every iteration of the film.
In this film,
right? Yeah, because
true, but look at I think the height of King Kong there is supposed to be 40 meters, whereas Godzilla is pushing
they have
150.
to reboot Godzilla. I mean, he can't get any taller now.
So I'm just wondering, how do you think that fight will go?
He's taller than a kaiju at this point.
I'm just like, oh yeah. I mean, like, I love that scene where you just see his leg and you see a helicopter go by.
That's insane.
It's like,
we don't have oceans.
That's a thing.
We actually have oceans that deep, but that's insane. That's an insane amount of fish to feed one Godzilla, right?
That's a lot of fish.
That's a lot of nuts.